Okay, Yeli.
Hello, hello, hello. Same chairs. No, we moved the chairs. So
We
a little
moved the
bit
chairs a
different
little
today.
bit, yeah. So we got a lot of first of all, thank you so much for all your support because we received a lot of
Right.
nice feedback and you asked us to do more. So
We are here.
we are
Here we are.
here. And
Yes.
we were thinking that maybe we can do it once a week, see how it goes. And
Yeah, yeah, we can try.
right,
Why not?
talk
Yeah,
about
yeah.
anyway. Yeah,
Right.
we're
So
talking
what's
about it.
happening this week?
Oh my
It's
God.
a big question, huh?
The thing is, like, we don't need to ask like what's happening this week. Everybody feels the energy. Do you feel the energy? I feel the energy.
Right,
The stress is
right,
in the air, but it's good. I mean, this is good stress if you know how to navigate it, if you know how to manage
right,
it. That's
right.
the whole idea. Stress is not coming for nothing. It's coming for us to be in control, to be free. You know what I thought this week? I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah,
taking
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing, but security, right? We all want security. Venus is in retrograde now, and Venus is where we feel secure, right? Our values, where we feel secure. What's going to make us feel that we can breathe, feel good in our own skin? That's Venus, and Venus is in retrograde, right? But I was thinking, with all the energy of Aquarius and Aries and setting ourselves free, Venus is in retrograde because all our life, that's what I thought of, okay?
Yeah.
Like all our life, we are trying to buy security, but
Yeah.
the security comes on the account of our freedom. Meaning, like, if I feel secure to work 24/7, you know, but I'm selling my freedom. I know that
Right.
if I'm going to have a regular job and just going to work normally, I'm going to get the same amount of money. If I drive myself crazy, so I'm buying. You understand? I'm skipping my freedom. I'm sacrificing my freedom for security.
For
Or
that kind of security. We didn't say what is really security. We just mention it as a type of security that we're still thinking that will make us feel secure, right?
but also, I don't know, think about emotional security, for example. I'm buying my, I'm, I'm staying in a relationship that is not good for me because my husband paying the bill. I'm making it up, okay?
Right.
So because my husband is paying the bills, I'm so unhappy. I am emotionally not happy. I'm basically
Right.
choose security instead
know.
of freedom.
Right.
You can look at it in
Exactly.
every area.
That
Even,
type of security. That type
exactly,
of
even with
security.
my
Yes.
children. I know that if I'm going to protect them, I'm going to feel secure, but they're not going to learn anything. They're not going to be free. I'm not free because now I have to do my job and their job. So all our life, we basically replace our freedom with the illusion sense of security. That's what I was thinking about Venus in.
Yes.
So
So it's like refounding what really makes you feel better, what makes you feel good about yourself. So the security is not something that's coming from outside.
No.
Security is a process that you're learning to trust yourself. Whatever happening, you have your inner connection to that place that you can balance yourself, you can measure yourself more objectively, and also be able to see what you need to change. So you're not afraid or not too paranoid from what's the happening is really happening, because the other securities, even though that there looks very safe, I have enough money, I have enough respect from the people, I have enough title, I'm like very good sitting where I am. The moment that one thing happened, you miss the big security that you work for the last 20 years, right? So security is more about how do we deal with what is happening around us. And as you said, right now the whole feeling is very present, that all what we're still trusting or building as a security is falling apart. So the feeling like you're walking on the air, there's no stability.
Right. We're losing ourselves. We're losing our freedom. We're losing ourselves because if we're not free, we cannot function
right
properly.
Right. But freedom is very relative, no? For somebody, free means that I have enough money to do what I want. For others, that I have love, and then I'm free. Or
Yeah,
but
yeah,
all
of
of
course.
those,
Everybody has to know themselves and their work,
right?
but
Mhm.
but everybody has to go through this. Now to go specifically each one, for each one,
Is a
freedom means
different
something else.
process. Different
But can
process.
people like say, okay, I'm coming, we're in this amazing energy.
Mhm.
Venus is in retrograde, Mercury is in retrograde, and also Venus is conjunct the North Node. Like,
Right.
whoa, karmatic, like we spoke last week, karmatic
Destiny style.
destiny. But to choose, that's what I said, we want to born again. We can choose our destiny and to
Mhm.
go to a totally different route if we know what
Mhm.
we want. So if we know, Aries knows what they want, but if we know what we want, we don't want just security. We want to be peace in the
But
security.
I want to hold on to it,
Okay.
because I tell you my style. For example, I gain weight, and a lot of time, instead of going into the right restriction, eating the right things, or making sure that I love myself enough and not treating that way my body, I usually go and buy clothes that I will look like the model that represented clothes, instead of dealing with the real problem. So for those of us that didn't really finish yet organize what we have, don't jump and run to something new, because the new is some kind of illusionary that always shine better, always. And then we're going to a new place and we find we're exactly the same place as before, right? So it's
The
not about
same.
where what will happen. We're going to go to start a new path or do something different. There's no something different, because if we are the one that moves to the next step, we are arriving with everything that is not solved yet inside of us. So the focus with Aries is not, I think, about new starting, about physicality or what I'm doing or what I'm thinking. It's more about making decisions that whatever and wherever I am, I'm going to deal with it in a way that I'm going to feel better about myself. It can be even like if you working in a place that you don't like, make sure that you taking the best out of this place as being more professional, feeling that you beat the laziness of making more effort for you.
But you can only do that if you're free.
Free of what?
Free inside.
Free of what's pushing you to do to run away from yourself,
Yeah,
right?
because if I feel again that I'm in that job because of security, but it takes my freedom away. So yeah, I need to deal with reality. Can I find a new job? Okay, but
Right.
if not, I need to be in that job, but and to feel or to change the concept of I'm not working for my employer, I'm working for myself and I'm going to do the best out of it.
Yes,
but
exactly.
then I'm free inside.
Yes.
You know, because if I
Still not
continue,
free, because the challenges will come. It's not that one big
yeah,
fight and it's over
but the
and that's it.
challenges are outside. I'm talking about the inside. If I'm free inside, chances, but it needs to be real. We cannot lie to ourselves.
Right.
Like chances that something happened and I'm going to find a new job are great, but only not when I'm saying, okay, I'm going to work on myself because a new job will come. I'm free because I'm free. If a job come or not, it doesn't matter.
But I think it's a little confusing, this title being free, because it's free of what? What is it really you're free of?
That I'm not attached to anything. That
What
I'm
does
not.
it mean? What does it mean I'm not attached to everything?
I'm not attached. For example,
It doesn't make me crazy. It doesn't make me angry. It doesn't want to live. It doesn't like that I'm exploding on my keys, or I'm and not doing the right decision because I'm so anxious or stressed to.
But again, but if
from the
free is
reality.
because but why does it happen? Because your emotions, our emotions are running our life. They're managing our life. Freedom is to know reality. I'm not living in a la la land, but I know how to manage my emotions. If I know how to manage my emotions, then I'm not slave to them anymore. So it's really freedom from all the negative emotions that I feel towards myself, towards life, honestly, towards victim consciousness.
Right,
of
but
life.
that's one of the things that very hard for most almost 99.9 of the people.
Of course, it's hard.
So I think one of the things that the cosmos is telling us now, accept what's happening. Where are you now? Use it. Don't try to fight with your emotions or start to stop them or start to take them away, because then there is no movement, there is no changing, there is no improvement. What can be on the opposite? Dive into whatever happening, and there, step by step, learn how to guide yourself to overcome those things by maybe crying a lot, by taking time to do exercise. By the exercise, the energy can move. Learn, that's how to managing it. On the other side is just to say that this is the negative emotions and we need to kick them out. This will be very hard to do, because the big one thing we cannot control is when they will appear in our life.
Right.
And you can see now every moment there is something new happening, and everybody, why it's so stressed, everybody is very stressful because there is many things radical that happening that touch each person in different angle, where he has a very feel of lack of security, afraid of what will be, what will happen to him, what will happen to his family.
Yeah, that's the insecurity that we feel. So the insecurity that we feel,
I think one of the
it's
yeah, go.
No, the security that we feel insecure, and then we compensate. The idea is not to compensate. The idea of Aries, because they're very simple, and they know what they want, and they can do that because they're simple. They're not getting complicated. And that's why the energy of Aries, I like it, because it's simple, it's powerful, it's courageous. It's like to know, where am I selling my freedom, or where am I selling what is for you? You're talking about emotions, right? I'm slave to those emotions.
Them doing decisions result of afraid of this emotion.
Of these emotions, right?
Right.
That's the freedom we want to gain. We were not, obviously there is a way. There's no way we can say, I don't want you, go away. We need to heal. We need to be able to be courageous, to feel it. My son told me something that offended me. I thought I'm gonna die, right? And I start yelling at him, right? Because I was like, why are you doing it? How can you do? All this like drama, right? Instead of just, okay, I mean, let's say I yelled because in that moment I needed to yell, whatever. So then I'm not judging myself. And then I'll go to my room and ask, where did he touch? What did he touch that made you jump like that?
Exactly.
You jumped like that. Why? But if I'm not asking why, what am I holding? What emotions do I hold? What happened to me when? Or what does it make me feel? And then if I know how it makes me feel, I can breathe into it, I can release it, and then I know what push my buttons. And when it happens again, maybe I'm going to yell again and yell again and yell again but if I'll do this exercise all the time, until I will stop yelling. Why? Because I healed it. Okay. But if I don't know, how do I sell my freedom to security? If I don't know what hurts me and why am I keep acting the way I'm acting, then life will continue. Now we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, we do. But I think another thing that Aries character give us is the understanding that it's only me. Not wait that somebody will help me from outside. And another part is not to have expectations from other people to behave me in a certain way, or to be working to me with something that I think that it should be correct to do. Letting go of all the surrounding in the dependence energy. I still need this person to treat me correct. I still need my son to talk to me correct. All these conditions that we give around in order that we feel, that's the jail.
Yeah.
We're doing too much conditioner just not to feel something wrong. The whole freedom that Aries is representing, that the concept that it's me. Yeah. That's one of the hard things to be around Aries, because they're very by themselves. But on the other hand, they have this natural built-in the leadership that I'm not waiting for nobody. And I'm not expecting for somebody to do it for me, because I really want to do my life. Yeah. And that's, I think, a very great tip for this specific time where we are, that things are in a second, the reality is changing.
Changes.
So we cannot
Yeah.
really change the destinies. We cannot really control our emotions. But what we can do is to gain a big understanding that it's only me that learn how to deal with it.
Absolutely.
And learn my language, and learn my, how you say, the pushing buttons, and
Yeah.
learning what I want and what makes me feel better. And use the reality to as a game changer, not
Yeah.
as a place to change it, to go to another place. On the contrary, exactly, you have the best workshop happening around you, because there is involved from upstairs, whatever happening. And that's free. The freedom is the freedom of the fears.
To let go of the fears. Yeah, that's the
Right.
freedom. Why am I
Right.
staying in the same relationship? Because I'm afraid I'm not going to have money. Why am I staying in the same? Because I'm
Right.
afraid of something. So
Right.
yeah,
I'm going to lose something very important.
something. That's it.
So it's a lot about learning to let go, learning
Yeah.
to let control go, learning to let the logic, lots of things are happening just with no reason, no logic, and unexpected.
And that's freedom.
Yeah.
So we close
Yeah.
the circle, basically, right? So that's freedom.
That's freedom. Yeah.
That's freedom.
The freedom that
I'm not doing something just to feel secure on account of who I am.
and
I'm
you
not
don't need
giving
to worry
myself
about
up,
it.
and I don't need to worry about it.
The
That's it.
worries takes all the
Exactly.
energies.
No worries.
I think we're over time.
Oh,
I think so.
I don't know. How do we know?
Yeah, because it looks to me that we over.
Okay, you know what? I think that we made the point, and
Yeah. And we just started. We're going to talk a
yeah.
lot about, because so many things are happening,
Yeah.
right? So many
Yeah.
changes, and we all are like working like a newborn
Yeah.
in the new state.
Yeah, it's a newborn, new
time.
It's a new time, definitely. But the time is not going to change us. We need to
It's a
change
personal
ourselves,
process.
accept ourselves, be ourselves,
Right.
have the courage to be who we are, and
Right.
then
Including the fears, and then learn to walk with it.
yeah.
A lot of time we do exactly the opposite, or running to big jobs, or running to big vacations, or running to big money, but we don't see ourselves inside.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming to our living room. And okay, we'll try. I mean, we'll try to do it again next week. So thank you, and good luck, everyone.
See you there.